This is the equation for Ampere's circuital law, that integral over B dot dl for a closed loop is equal to mu naught I, where I is the total current through the surface. Where I is the total current through the surface. Suppose we have this surface, this loop, from which three currents are passing. So let us say this is I1, this is I2, this is I3, and there are many more currents. This is I4 and this current is I5. So again this I is not I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus I4 plus I5. This is not this. These two currents are not passing through this loop. So what are the currents passing through this loop? I1, I2 and I3. So I is equal to simply those current that are passing through this loop, which is I1, I2 and I3. So where I is the total current passing through the surface. So total current passing through this surface or loop is I1 plus I2 plus I3. So this is the current. Again we don't take total current, we take current only that is passing through the surface. The integral is taken over the closed loop coinciding with the boundary C of the surface. That's why this circle is there, because it is a closed loop. The relation above involves a sign convention. Now we have a sign convention given by the right hand rule. Sign convention is given by the right hand rule. So let us read this thing. Let the fingers of right hand be curled in the sense the boundary is traversed in the loop integral B dot dl. Then the direction of the thumb gives the sense in which current I is regarded as positive. So if you see this figure, so current is going in this direction. Okay, so current is going in this direction. So if you put your thumb in this direction, then if your for your right hand thumb is in this direction, what would be your direction of your finger? Your finger would be in this direction. So see here, so this is the direction. So it is the direction of the magnetic field. If positive side of current, if the current direction is shown here with your thumb, current direction is shown with your thumb, then curl of your fingers will show the direction of this magnetic field. Or if you know the magnetic field is curl, then the direction of the current would be given by your thumb. Let us read this again. Let the fingers of the right hand be curled in the sense of the boundary is traversed. So this is the boundary. So this is the right hand fingers. In the loop integral, then the direction of the thumbs give the sense in which current I is regarded as positive. So this is the thumb direction of your right hand and this is the direction of the current. Now we understood that this is a very simple equation, that B dot dl is simply equal to mu naught I. So this is Ampere's circuital law. For using this circuital law, we first make a surface, an open surface with some kind of boundary to use this law. So this is Ampere's circuital law. Now for several applications, a much simplified version of this equation proves sufficient. What is this equation? This equation is Ampere's circuital law. We shall assume that in such cases it is possible to choose the loop. The loop is called an Amperian loop because this is Ampere's circuital law. So this loop is called Ampere's or Amperian loop. So we can choose a loop. For any current we can choose a loop. Again, this loop need not to be a circle. It could be a rectangle, this loop could be a triangle, this loop could be of any shape. So we have to choose a loop that is enclosing this current such that each point of loop, so how can we choose the loop? We can choose the loop in following manner. So for using the Ampere's circuital law, we can consider a loop which is called Amperial loop. Amperial loop can be chosen as either B is tangential to the loop. So suppose if B is in this direction and we have chosen the loop, and at this point B and this small element dl both are tangential and a non-zero component B is there. So as we have seen, this was the loop and at this point this B was tangential. So this is the first condition. Now second type of loop, how can we take loop? We can take loop where B is normal. Suppose this is our loop and this is our small element. Previously we have tangential, now it is normal to the loop. So our element is like this, magnetic field is like this. So this is second type of loop, and we can choose a third type of loop where for some part of the loop magnetic field is not there. Let us say magnetic field, let us say this loop is in two parts. So for this part, left part, there is magnetic field which is in this direction. So for this part, this magnetic field is tangential. This is the first case. For this part, magnetic field is normal to the loop because we have this element like this and magnetic field in this direction. So this is second condition. Now in third case, there is no magnetic field, so B vanishes. So we can choose any Amperian loop in three ways. First case where B is tangential, so here we can see this element and B is tangential to this element, or B is normal to the element and B is not there. And again, this is not for the full loop. They are asking about, if you see here, so they are asking about that each point of loop. So each point of the loop can behave separately. So this point of the loop is behaving like the magnetic field is tangential. This point is behaving like magnetic field is normal, and this point is behaving like there is no magnetic field. So we can choose a loop that B is either tangential, B is normal, or B is not there. Now let L be the length of the loop for which B is tangential and IE be the current enclosed by loop. Then suppose we had this loop and total length of this loop is L. So that small part is dl and total length, if we integrate it, this becomes L. Total length is L. Then we have BL is equal to mu naught IE. So what is IE here? IE, because we know that it is not the total current, as we have seen in previous example that current was I1 plus I2 plus I3, not I4 and I5. This was not the current which was in the loop. So we have to take only those current that are enclosed by the loop. That's why IE here. IE means the currents that are enclosed by the loops. So this is BL is equal to mu naught IE, where IE is the current enclosed. When there is a system of symmetry, such as for a straight infinite current carrying wire, in figure 4.15 that we will see, The Ampere's law enable us an easy evaluation of the magnetic field. For a straight wire, the magnetic field will be like this, for this kind of circular pattern around this straight wire. So this will be a cylinder kind of structure. Magnetic field for a straight wire is a cylinder kind of structure. Now, Ampere's law enable an easy evaluation of the magnetic field, much the same way Gauss law helps in determination of electric field. As we determine electric fields using the Gauss law, this Ampere's law will help us in getting the magnetic field. This is exhibited in example 4.9 that we will see later. The boundary of the loop chosen is a circle and the magnetic field is tangential to the circumference of the circle, that we will also see once we move to that example. The law give us the left hand side of equation 4.17b, which is this equation to be b into 2 pi r, because for circle this L is equal to circumference, which is 2 pi r, or we can take small r. So b dot 2 pi r, we find the magnetic field at a distance r outside the wire is tangential, and given by tangential is like this: b into 2 pi r is equal to mu naught I, b is equal to mu I upon 2 pi r. So the above result is for infinite wire is interesting, and let us see some of the points.